Hi there everyone, welcome to Violet's Dream Tarot. So today we are doing the December love predictions reading. So what is coming towards you in December, in love specifically. So some of these things you may already have noticed or may already make sense to you because we are a little bit into December already when I'm filming this. Apologies about that. I've been a little bit late with this one because things have been quite busy on my end. But you can see I have redecorated the the mat area because I've redecorated my home for winter. I like to do seasonal decorations throughout my home, so I've been bringing it into the mat as well recently. So we've got some nice like cranberries, including some frosted berries as well. We have a little like gingerbread figure, this cute train. I don't know if you can see, but there's like a house and a Christmas tree and candy canes, and then there's a gingerbread man driving it in the window. It's a little bit hard to see from this angle, but he's there. And we've got a polar bear and we've got a snowman. So we're all nicely into this. And also, if you're a long time viewer of my channel, if you've been viewing my channel for a long time, then you'll remember this mat. I haven't used it for quite some time, like well over a year, but I thought let's bring it back at least for this season and see. Yeah, it's just nice to have a little bit of a different vibe, I think. So yes, that's what we're doing today. So on to the reading. So as you can see, we have 3 piles of cards, and I've pre-shuffled the cards because I wanted to use the same deck for all of them, which is the Yuletide Tarot. So normally I would use 3 different tarot decks, one for each pile, and that would be how you'd pick. But today I've pre-shuffled the cards because I know some people have a preference for pre-shuffled, some people like to watch the cards being shuffled, so I try and mix it up a bit on my channel where I can. But yeah, I've shuffled these little Lomo cards on top of them, so you can choose. So I haven't chosen the cards, but funnily enough, there's 2 skating cards. So for group 1, maybe just take a deep breath in now. Focus your mind on your love life in December. You can close your eyes at first, or you can just sort of ask, what is coming towards me in love in December? What can I expect in love in December? What will happen in my love life in December? However you want to phrase it. So group 1's card is the Skating Father Christmas, and it says 51 pence. No, sorry, 55 pence. 55 pence, so the number might mean something to you, 55. Okay, so that's group 1. Then group 2 has skiing reindeer. And sorry, why did I say skiing? Skating reindeer. And it says 45 pence. So there's 55 and 45 for group 2. And then for group 3, you've got this very delicious looking cupcake. It's got pink icing and some kind of green. I think it's one of those like gummy sweets on top. And then you've got a candy cane, a miniature candy cane sticking out of it. And this is 40 pence. 40. So you've got 3 different numbers actually for each of the piles, which I didn't expect or anticipate. I just shuffled the cards. So yeah, take as much time as you need to choose your pile. It's fine if you can't pick. If you want to watch more than one video, that's fine. The timestamps will be down below as they always are. Go back to the start of the video if you're still undecided. Watch the close-ups again or pause the video and have a good look at the decks, but try not to overthink it. Just go with your intuition, which one you are drawn to. If you close your eyes for a few moments and then open them again, which pile are you intuitively drawn to? It's often that kind of like split decision thing that can help be the tiebreaker if you're struggling to pick. But if not, maybe watch both of the piles that you're drawn to, see what they have to say. There might be things in each reading that resonate and other things that don't. And that's perfectly fine because, this is a public reading on YouTube. It's not a private reading. So there might be some things, even if you're very drawn to one pile, that don't quite fit for your reading. And that's completely fine. They are for someone else. You can just let those messages go with love and take the messages that are here for you. So without further ado, let's get into the piles. Hi there, Group 1. Welcome to your reading. This is for those of you who chose the Skating Father Christmas. 55 pence, maybe the 55 or the fives has a meaning for you. But this one is for you. So we'll just pop that card there so that we can continue to see it. And then we will use the rest of the cards, which I've already pre-shuffled for you. There's plenty, as you can see. Lots and lots of cards. Then we will get your charms and also your dice as well. Now, I haven't looked at your cards in advance, so I'm going to be experiencing your reading at the same time as you. So if I need to take a moment just to work out what's going on and attune to the energies, I will need to do that. But yeah, let's get into your reading. And also, I want to say a massive thank you to all of my patrons, including Kelly and Angelica. Thank you so much to all of you for your support. Thank you to all of my lovely subscribers. If you end up enjoying this reading, if it's your first time here, please consider subscribing. Just go down below, click the subscribe button. It is completely free, and it means that you will get notified whenever I upload a video, and it also helps out my channel enormously. So let's have a look. So what have you got for tarot? So you have the Six of Gifts. So as I said, this is the Yuletide Tarot, so very Yuletide themed. So this one's the Six of Pentacles in this deck. They have slightly different names in this deck. Page of Good Cheer, which is the Page of Cups. So Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces. And then Knight of Candles, the Knight of Wands, which is Aries, Leo, and Sagittarius. So you're getting all of the fire signs and all of the water signs in your reading. And they're kind of opposites. Maybe love in December for you is going to be a case of like opposites attract. Six of Pentacles is also all about balance, like the give and take, and also kind of like getting back what you put out into the world. Like this indicates that it's an especially, I don't really want to say karmic time, but that's kind of what I mean. Like you can choose what you get out of this month, basically, as far as love goes. The more you put out, the more you get back. And, you know, if you don't feel like putting much out, that's fine, but you probably won't get as much back. So what I mean by that is, if you're looking for love, I would really encourage you to be very proactive in this month, because there's a chance that if you're on online dating, you might get a lot of matches in this month. If you are, you know, going to social events, and people in general are going to quite a lot of social events in December. It tends to be a busy month for people for things like that. So you might well get lucky in this month and meet someone who feels like a good fit for you, or seems interesting and you'd like to take things further. So you can get a lot back from this month if you're willing to put in the effort. If you're seeing someone, or if you're in a relationship, this is just a reminder that, you know, relationships are all about mutual effort. If you're giving too much and getting nothing back, maybe this is a good chance to reflect upon that and sort of work out why. Equally, you know, if it's a long-term relationship especially, and things have gotten a bit samey, fallen into a bit of a routine, this might be a time to try and dedicate more of your conscious energy into your relationship, because especially if you live together and you both have busy lives, you know, jobs, etc., maybe even children, there is so much other stuff that takes away from the relationship. And actually consciously putting effort into your relationship just seems to be like the last thing on your list. So this is a month when you can, you know, get some reward from doing that if you choose to do so in December. Okay, so then you have express your love. Go ahead and make the romantic gesture. So there's definitely something here about being open, being forward, really, like not being shy, like putting yourself out there, or making it clear to your partner that you love them, that you care about them, or if you're having problems, you know, making it clear that you want to work on the relationship, but that it does imply that work needs to be done. You can't just, you know, both be ignoring the issue. So I think that is all tying in. And obviously I am trying to just kind of focus on different types of relationship or relationship status that you might have. So that's why I'm trying to point out different scenarios, but obviously you know which one which one applies to you best. So group 1, you then have Phoenix. How's that for a happily ever after? Number 9. Okay, so Phoenix sort of carries the energy of rebirth and resurrection. The Phoenix dies in a ball of flame and is then reborn from the ashes. So the Phoenix sort of carries this energy of immortality, long life, something that lasts for a very long time. But I also like how it says, how's that for a happily ever after? Because it kind of indicates that you have been going perhaps through a bit of a difficult time, or that there has been maybe some doubts, some struggles recently. And this is a chance to actually overcome that and kind of step away and experience something totally new. So there's a freshness and a rejuvenation coming your way in December. Then you have Geben, giving, number 3. So there's that give and take message coming through again. Intimität, intimacy, number 34. So yeah, there could be maybe intimacy has kind of fallen by the wayside because you've both been busy. If you're in a partnership, maybe this is an indication that you can find someone who you feel like you want to be intimate with if you are looking for love. This could be an opportunity for greater intimacy within a relationship as well. And remember, intimacy, it's not just physical intimacy, it's also emotional. You might be opening up to someone you've been seeing about certain aspects of your life in December. You might be sort of emotionally sharing with them, letting them know more about you. And they will be, in turn, then offering greater closeness to themselves. That's what I'm getting at, is this sort of giving and taking and sort of getting back what you put out. You've also got Erwartungen, expectations, number 60. Okay, expectations. And then Naivität, naivety, 62. That's interesting because like expectations, it's a negative card in this deck. It indicates, expectations that limit us, that hold us back, or that just set us up to fail. So you could feel that a lot is being expected of you. Equally, you could be expecting too much of your partner, or perhaps if you're looking for love, you have very high expectations, which is great, but maybe there's an issue where you're perhaps finding fault with everyone instead of giving people a chance. Maybe part of this is connected to not wanting to be naive, not wanting to, get with someone that's not completely perfect, because then there could be these problems or these issues, or they might not be exactly who they say they are. Maybe some of you who are in relationships have felt or are feeling in December like you've been a bit naive and that you need to be firmer with your partner. Because I think express your love. This could also be tough love. You might have fallen into a situation, again, especially if it's a long-term relationship, or if, there are children or other responsibilities involved. You may have fallen into a situation where you're doing everything, or your partner is doing very little, or they're not showing up for you emotionally, or, whatever it might be. They might just be a partner in name only, or they might be a partner, in a practical sense, but not in an emotional sense. And so I think some of you are having realizations in December of like, actually, I need you to give more. I need you to pick up more of the burden of, whether it might be household chores, whether it's like mental load of doing things like arranging things for the children, sorting hospital appointments, doing the shopping, etc. All of these like the mental load that you carry around as an adult, and you need to just, get through your life week to week. So yeah, I think some of you're expressing your love in the sense of tough love, and you're being like, look, I love you and care about you, but I'm not going to put up with this indefinitely. So something is going to have to change if you want me to remain your partner, ultimately. Okay, what else have we got? So we've got a couple of cards as to who is coming your way in love. So you have Der Weggefährte, which is like, I'm not sure exactly how to translate it as a noun in English, but it would be like someone who has traveled far or someone who has traveled along a path. I would maybe say the journeyer, the traveling one, the one who is well traveled perhaps. And you have das Opfer, the victim. And then the other card you have, actually you've got two more. You have the engineer. Light attributes are ability to give creative energy a practical expression, talent for designing resolutions for common dilemmas. Shadow attribute, reliance on mechanistic solutions without regard for emotional consequences. So that definitely fits with if you feel as though your partner or someone you've been seeing has been there for you in a practical sense. You know, maybe they have been doing their fair share of household chores. Maybe, you know, they take you out for dinner and that's lovely, or they make sure that they cook for you or whatever. But that it just feels to you like they're not hitting your emotional needs. And so that might be something that you want to discuss. And then the other card you have for who is coming towards you is Earth. Okay, so Earth signs, Taurus, Virgo, and Capricorn. And that doesn't need to be their main sign, their sun sign. It can be their rising sign. It can be their moon sign. Would recommend looking at their birth chart if you don't know what those are for the person in question. But yeah, someone well traveled. And you know, I would also connect this not just as in someone who likes traveling or someone who has traveled a lot. I would connect this with someone who has quite, how do I explain this? What I'm feeling like someone who is very interested in lots of different points of view. Maybe someone quite philosophical, very interested in different ways of living, different perhaps historical ways of life and belief systems, or belief systems in other cultures and how other people live in different parts of the world. You know, I think this points towards someone quite philosophical. And interested in sort of broadening their horizons that way. I also see this as perhaps someone who maybe feels a bit unrooted in life, like they don't really belong anywhere, or they don't have a like quote unquote home. Maybe they moved around a lot when they were a child. Maybe their work as an adult has meant that they've never put down firm roots in one particular country or city. And so that is also what I would connect to the traveler. The victim, I mean, this would be someone who has either gone through struggles in life, you know, I mean, we all obviously go through struggles, but like someone who's maybe had more than their fair share of struggles in life. But I would also possibly view it as someone who sort of lives in that victimhood. You know, someone who perhaps doesn't help themselves or doesn't see their own power or doesn't use their own power because, you know, they want someone else to help them or save them, or they're just comfortable in that victimhood. And then you have this engineer energy. So someone who's very practically minded, maybe very good at visualizing things that are physical, like visualizing plans of things. But yeah, maybe not as emotionally switched on, perhaps. So these could all be different people. Some of these cards might even represent your energy in terms of how you are approaching love in December, if any of these sound familiar. But equally, this could all be one person, like different facets of one person, and how your partner or someone who you are going to be meeting in December will approach you or will come across to you. So let's get a few more cards. Group 1, you have Etheling, number 6, Nobility, Grace, Gratitude. So yeah, and I think this is connected a bit to the naivety and express your love. There is an element here of like, I am going to, and also the phoenix as well, like rising from the ashes as this magnificent creature, not like tainted by the dirt that they have been in. There's a sense of like, I'm going to handle this graciously or gracefully, and I'm going to handle this with dignity. Perhaps some of you have felt that your partner not picking up the slack or not being there for you in certain ways has sort of, you know, undignified you in some way. So maybe that's also what you want to what you want to get back at. Sugar, sweetness. That's a lovely card because that indicates that there are sweet things, enjoyable things coming your way in love in December. You have full moon in Aquarius, be real. First quarter moon in Capricorn, unleash your kindest self. Okay, and then you have first quarter moon in Sagittarius, believe in your good luck. Okay, so that's promising. Believe in your good luck. So something happening that is very positive. That also fits with the Phoenix message, doesn't it? Of happily ever after, you know, sort of coming back from the brink or coming back from a challenging time, reborn, rejuvenated, ready. And you have no is the answer to your question. Okay, so there might have been a question that you were asking when you clicked on this video today, maybe something that's been puzzling you, worrying you even, and this is an answer to your question. Might not fit for everyone, but there we go. Okay, let's get your charms and dice on top, group 1, and see what else they can tell us. I've got a couple more for you. Okay, so you have courageous, which is the reverse of the Aries charm. You've got quite a few zodiac signs today, actually, because you've got Sagittarius here, Capricorn, and Aquarius. Maybe a lot of people are choosing this pile. So you've got the key. That's a lovely symbol that indicates that whatever problems you are faced with in December in love, you can fix them. You have what it takes to overcome those issues. And you know, I like that because it's landing on that express your love card. So I do think for some of you there is an element of tough love, as I mentioned. Or perhaps even some of you just like needing to get up the courage to tell someone that you're interested in them. Needing to find the courage to actually ask that person if they'd like to go for coffee once you've met them for the first time at that Christmas event or that Christmas market or art exhibition or whatever it is that you're going to in December, because I think some of you are going to quite a few events where you might meet someone. You've got Sagittarius again. Yeah, and I would say this is quite a Sagittarius energy. What I mentioned about like traveling a lot and having a real interest in other people's worldviews and ways of living, that's quite commonly associated with Sagittarius, or the 9th house, which Sagittarius rules. So the 9th house, possibly quite prominent in this person's birth chart. Scorpio as well, so lots of signs. You've got the older man here. So there may be an older or otherwise more experienced man coming your way. And this doesn't mean an old man. I know that it's like a grandpa charm, but I don't read it as being necessarily like an old person. It's just someone who's a year or a couple of years older than you perhaps, or just maybe knows more than you do about a certain thing. Sometimes it's more about that knowledge or maturity than it is about biological age. So what else is here? We've got fear, this shark charm, fear, afraid of something. Loneliness, the little bird in the cage, wanting more friends. There's also a freedom aspect of that as well. So loneliness and freedom. You have the dragon. That can be a zodiac marker. Anyone born in the lunar year of the dragon. Dragon. It's also a very powerful symbol, like the dragon and the phoenix, both very, very powerful legendary beings. So you've got a lot of like empowering, strong energy here. You have the bow, which is quite a sweet charm. The bow just kind of indicates making something better, making something nicer. So something is going to be improved for you in December. Some kind of situation that's either a bit like okay, but just kind of a bit drab or boring, or something that is actively a negative situation is going to be improved in some way. Okay, just like putting a nice bow on something makes it nicer, makes it more special. And this isn't about like, trying to cover up a bad situation by, painting on a veneer. That's not what the charm means. It literally just means improving something. Okay, so then you have, oh my goodness, like Pegasus as well. Wow, that's three very powerful legendary creatures here. Amazing. Okay, when I see this, I think of innocence. I think of childhood, children possibly being something that's getting in the way a little bit, or something that's on your mind. You might be wanting children. That might be making you more eager to find a partner or to move forward with your partner. Maybe that's the tough love, is you have to say to someone, look, I know we've only just met and this is our first date, but I have to be clear that I want to be married and have children, and I'm not getting any younger. So, I wouldn't be looking for a long, drawn out relationship before that actually happens. I would be looking to be married within a couple of years. That sort of thing. That might be what you're saying. It's also such a powerful symbol of like innocence and purity. Just a symbol of like, you are pure, you're not tainted. Yes, that goes back to the phoenix. Like, it's this magnificent creature being reborn from the ashes. It's not tainted by that dirt and dust. It's all the better for having gone through that. So yeah, there's something here about not being tainted by your challenging experiences, but actually still being pure, still being this wonderful person, perhaps even being stronger or better because of it. You've then got the baby boy. So some of you are really hoping to conceive, or children are really on your mind. Maybe for some of you, you might be meeting someone that has a child, and that sort of brings up questions for you about, is this a path that I want to go down? This can also indicate that someone is behaving childishly or immaturely at some point in December. Then what else do you have? You've got the cross, symbol of faith, hope, strength, trust. The lobster I think of like sturdiness, like something that's hardy, something that's going to get through challenging times. So again, there's like the being able to get through the difficulties message. You have a love heart, diamond encrusted love heart. So there's a message of love definitely being an important element in December for you. You do have love around you. Love is present. You have opportunities for love. Then you have the wolf. Again, this sort of brings me back to the birdcage. I think of this as being like the lone wolf, like he's howling or baying at the moon for his pack, like he's trying to attract other wolves. So there is like a real wanting to socialize, wanting to meet new people, wanting to just have more people around you feeling in December. And again, wolf is a very powerful animal. And then here you've got the lion, can represent Leo, can represent someone being prideful, perhaps letting pride get in the way of the best choice or the best outcome. But this is incredible. I mean, actually the shark as well, like you could see the shark is also that kind of thing. So you've got Phoenix, you've got the dragon, Pegasus, you've got wolf, lion, shark, you've even got the lobster, which I mean is like an armored animal. So, I also see them as very, very tough. And I guess as well, I keep looking at this, I'm not even sure what it is. Arctic wolf? Could be an Arctic wolf. Could even be an enormous husky or samoyed. But yeah, like lots of symbols of powerful, even legendary animals here, which I think shouldn't be discounted. I think that is important to your reading. And then your final charm is the battle axe. I think of defensiveness when I see this charm. I also think a bit of like a double-edged sword, you know, like something cuts both ways, because it is a double-sided axe. So yeah, again, that takes me back to you get what you give. You receive what you put out into the world. There is a sense of balance in December. Karmic balance, energetic balance. You can get from this month what you're willing to put in, basically. Let's finish up with your dice. Okay, so we're rolling the 5th set of dice, which are the actions dice. Let me just get those. Group 1. Okay, we're rolling 2 of them for you. It's not loads, but there's no point rolling more if they're not going to have a message for you, or if it's just going to be the wrong message, because that would just be confusing or unhelpful. Okay, so you have the person who is counting their money. So there could be a financial element. I haven't seen this anywhere else in your reading, but there could be a financial element to love in December for you. Maybe you want to get out into the dating world, but you're worried about how you're going to finance that. You know, going for lots of coffees and lots of dinners with people or lunches might start to add up. Equally, you know, this could be an issue of like finances is getting in the way of your relationship with a partner that you have. So, you know, you might be resentful of your partner because you feel like they don't contribute enough in a financial sense to the relationship. Maybe, as I mentioned earlier, you could both be busy with work, and that could be getting in the way of making conscious time for each other, or the physical or emotional intimacy. And then you have the person who is drawing another person. So when I see this, I always think of like manifesting or like visualizing what, like the sort of person that you want to attract, like drawing them into reality. Some of you may even like imagine or dream of a person, and then you end up meeting someone that looks almost identical to that person that you visualized or dreamt about, and that will be like a kind of freaky but cool experience in December. Some of you are trying to manifest a partner. Some of you perhaps are trying to manifest or trying to assist your current partner with overcoming certain bad habits or negative character traits. I think some of this might be about improving rather than attracting a completely new person. But I think, yeah, a lot of you are trying to manifest love in December. And I honestly think that you have opportunities for this, group 1. So whether you're in a relationship or looking for love, I see you as having opportunities for love, for greater connection, for, you know, meeting interesting people. So I would just recommend thinking about what you're prepared to put in this month and recognizing that what you put in is what you're going to get back. That is honestly the motto for your love life in December. Okay, group 1, I hope you enjoyed this. Please let me know in the comments if you did. Let me know what resonated with you. I would love to hear from you. Please like, share, and subscribe if you enjoyed this video. It means so much to me. Head over to my Patreon page if you'd like to support me further. I am going to be organizing a live event some point in December. We'll do like a Yule live event where I'll pull cards for patrons exclusively, and we can chat about what's going on in our lives and in our practices. So if you're interested in getting involved with something like that, head over to Patreon and become a patron, because that's the only way that you can get access to those events. And yeah, I've got my Etsy page for private readings. All of this is linked below. If you're interested in any of the decks that I ever use in any of my readings, always check the description box, because I always list them in there. So if you're ever wondering, ooh, what deck is that? That looks nice. Have a look in the description box, because I will have always listed its name. Okay, have a lovely rest of your day. Group 1, take care. Have a wonderful December, and I will see you again soon. Bye-bye. Hi there, Group 2. Welcome to your reading for all of you who chose Skating Reindeer as your card and 45 as the number. This is going to be your reading. So we'll just pop that down there so we can still see it. And as I mentioned in the intro, I've pre-shuffled your cards, but I haven't looked at them. So I'm going to be experiencing your reading at the same time as you. And yeah, I think you were the one that got the most cards, Group 2. So there's plenty of cards in your reading. Like a lot of the time when I was shuffling for you, you got like 2, 3, even 4 cards per deck. So plenty to get through. And then we've got your charms and dice as well after that. So let's see what is coming up for you in love in December. I also want to say a massive thank you to all of my patrons, including the lovely Kelly and Angelica. Thank you so much for supporting me in the work that I do. Thank you to all of my subscribers as well. If you haven't already and you like this video, maybe go down below, click the subscribe button and subscribe to the channel. It's completely free and it means that you will get notified whenever I upload a new video, and it also means that you are supporting my channel. So Group 2, let's take a look. So you have the 2 of Good Cheer. This is the Yuletide Tarot, as I mentioned in the intro. So they have slightly different names. The 2 of Good Cheer is the 2 of Cups. Always nice to start a love reading with the 2 of Cups. Then you have the Child, which is the Fool in this deck. The Child. And then you have the 10 of Candles, or the 10 of Wands. Okay. So in December, you are definitely getting the opportunity for romance. And there's a sense with the Fool of like new or renewed romance. So some of you may be rekindling a connection. Like I kind of get this as a little bit of like almost like the Bridget Jones situation where she goes to her family gathering over Christmas and she meets someone that she knew as a child, Mr. Darcy, and then, you know, ultimately, very ultimately, a relationship develops out of that. It could be that you are like reconnecting with someone you used to work with, someone that you went to school with, someone that, you know, you used to be close with and then you moved away or they moved away. Like there's just kind of a sense here of like, potential rekindling of something here. Not necessarily that you've been in a relationship with them before, but just, you know, someone that you used to like or be close with, rekindling that connection. For some of you, you are meeting someone entirely new. And for those of you in a partnership, I think this is just a nice symbol of like renewed love, renewed closeness, romance as well. As they get like strong romance vibes from this card. This card also, the 2 of Cups, has a meaning of forgiveness and an improved relationship after a time of strain or estrangement. That's a meaning of the card that is often overlooked in readings. So that could also be applying. The 10 of Wands is pointing towards this sense of stress, of having a lot of things to do. I think for a lot of people, December is a very busy month. It's a month that kind of goes like that. You blink and it's gone. And there is so much to organize or go to or, you know, do in this month. So I think that's a fair one. You might be feeling quite busy, a bit stressed or frazzled, and that might be having an impact on your relationship, or perhaps your partner is feeling that way. Okay, you also have worth waiting for. Divine timing is at work in your love life. So this could also indicate that, you know, perhaps you're meeting someone again. Perhaps this is a second chance to kindle something with someone from your past. Worth waiting for. Maybe this is also like maybe you're very busy at work, but then the holiday period gives you a bit of time off work or a bit of like space away from the busyness of work, because you might have had to have gotten like quite a few deadlines out of the way, and then suddenly, even though you're maybe still working, there's a breathing period where it's actually not very busy. And so you get this headspace back to focus on looking for love or focus on your partner. Worth waiting for. It's like, yeah, something that comes at the end, maybe something that is beneficial. Some of you as well, it's like you're waiting for your partner to do or say something. To do something, to say something. Maybe you're dating someone and you're waiting for them to say I love you, and that's, when this is going to happen, December. Some of you might be waiting for a proposal, perhaps, or a suggestion to move in, something like that. Princess, you can be your own knight. Number 1. Okay, so taking charge in December, being in control. If you are waiting for your partner to do something, maybe this is an indication that maybe you can be the one to say it first, or maybe you can slip it into conversation or something like that. Like, this is kind of saying, don't wait around for someone to rescue you. Rescue yourself. Be your own knight. What else do we have? Freude, joy. Number 39. Joy. Or at least start the discussion as well, maybe. Maybe that's what that's pointing at. Like, get the ball rolling yourself and let them do the rest. Falsche Geisteshaltung, 64. Wrong attitude or bad attitude. Okay, so that could be to do with the waiting around when actually you could be seizing the moment yourself. Glücklich sein, being happy. Happiness, number 41. So some lovely cards kind of bookending this bad attitude or wrong attitude. But these are really lovely cards, so let's keep going. Then you got quite a lot of cards to indicate who is coming towards you in love. So I always pull a few cards to show who's coming towards you in love in December. And this means either someone that you're meeting, or it can be how your partner or the person you're seeing is showing up for you in December, like how they're behaving or how they're coming across. Okay, and sometimes you might see cards here that seem to represent you as well, and maybe it's also pointing to how you're showing up for love in December. So you have die Co-Abhängige, the codependence. Okay, so maybe some interdependence, interreliability, maybe even both of you like waiting for the other one to be the one to do the thing, or to say the thing or to start the discussion. Networker. Light attributes, enhances unity through the sharing of information, engenders social awareness and empathy. Shadow attributes, conveys information only for personal gain, spreads fear and falsehood. So someone who's really good at networking, you might meet someone at a networking event. If you're with someone already, they might be acting especially sociable in this month. Maybe they have a lot of festive events that they're going to, and so yeah, you kind of see them as this networker or this more sociable version of themselves in December. You got 5 cards. Yes, 5 cards. You heard me correctly from this deck. And I was in 2 minds as to whether to keep them or not, but I went, do you know what? Let's just go with it. So 2 of these are shadow cards. One is a zodiac card and the other 2 are general or positive cards. So you have insensitive, dominant, romantically clueless, dislikes confrontation. And you have inflexible, judgmental, tactless, and resistant to change. Now, I tend to see with these cards, including the positive ones, that it's usually 1 or 2 of the words on each card that matches your situation. Like it's very unlikely that all 8 of these shadow issues will be showing up for you or your partner or someone that you meet in December. So just see if you're like drawn to any of these words or phrases more than others. Just bear it in mind because it will be different for everyone, but that's how I use these cards. Then your zodiac card is water, so water signs, Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio. Okay, and then your other 2 cards are sincere, intuitive, reserved, easygoing, with possible interests including cultural arts, books, environmental law, musical instruments, spirituality, and socializing in small gatherings. And again, I would say 1 or 2 of those possible interests are probably accurate. The others, they might be interested in if they had the opportunity to do them, but they've never got into them, or maybe they're just less important. And the other one is generous, outgoing, warm-hearted, unconventional, with possible interests including catering, dietitian, real estate, mechanics, family traditions, cooking, entertaining, charity, community, politics. So you might have a partner that's maybe cooking for you, in December. Okay, then let's see what else you have. So you have Soulkin, 16, recognition, family, kinship. So family perhaps being on your mind a lot in December. Maybe that's also sort of getting in the way of love, or maybe you are, as I mentioned, like meeting someone at a family gathering or bringing your partner along to visit your family. St. John's wort, dispirited. Then you have honor your feelings, first quarter moon in Pisces. And then you got loads of cards from this deck as well. You got your interests are compatible. Okay, that's nice. A relationship will bloom. That's lovely. Face your fears. Okay. And good things come to those who patiently wait. I think those are all nice. Okay, so face your fears. That could be the wrong attitude. It could be the stressed thing. It could be this thing about like your partner or the person you meet perhaps being a little bit shy, and you're waiting around for them to say something, do something, ask you on a date, make that big leap. And it's like you're going to have to nudge them, or you're going to have to perhaps be the person that does the asking, or maybe you're just going to have to like start the conversation yourself, like create the environment where it becomes clear to them that it is safe for them to ask, because it can be nerve-wracking. Can definitely be nerve-wracking to be the one who's expected to, do certain things. So you want to, I guess, make it clear that certain questions, certain topics of discussion are welcome, whatever that means for you. Okay, group 2. So yeah, I do see you being a little bit down a bit in December because you have the stress card. You've also got dispirited. And then you have these 2 shadow cards, which could be you, or they could be your partner, or they could be a mixture of both. You've also got the bad attitude. So there is something here about mood, I think. Mood being an issue. So sometimes maybe it's something like there's the perfect opportunity for a proposal. Maybe you're really hoping your partner's going to propose and you think, oh my goodness, this is the perfect setting. They're going to do it now. And then they don't. And then you're thinking, well, now that's kind of spoiled my evening, taken the shine off this lovely event. Maybe it's a situation where, you have a great evening. There's a perfect opportunity to open up to each other, perfect opportunity to take things further, perfect opportunity for whatever it might be, and you just feel like that opportunity isn't taken, and then it gets you down and it sort of taints that experience for you. I do think as well some of you are just a bit stressed, a bit busy with work, therefore a bit perhaps mentally or emotionally absent with partners or potential partners in December. But I love the worth waiting for because it does suggest that there is something coming maybe further towards the end of December that is kind of the icing on the cake. It's worth the wait. You've got, you got worth waiting for, and you got good things come to those who patiently wait. So there is something here about don't try to force it, or, once you get to the end of December, things improve significantly. Okay, so that one of those is your message, group 2. It's either that you're super busy until the actual holiday period kicks in when work gets easier, or you actually have the time off work if you're lucky enough, and then you can start to focus on what's important. Or it's a case of don't try to force something to happen because something is waiting for you. So it could be that you're so worried about going to this big event without a partner, and then you meet someone there, and so if you'd brought someone you would never have ended up having that great experience. Or it could be maybe you are waiting for your partner to propose, or to ask you to move in with them, or to take the relationship to the next level, and you keep thinking, this is the time, this would be a perfect time, etc., etc. You're taking the enjoyment out of it. This is going to happen for you, but you're going to hate the journey if you keep being on tenterhooks and really on edge waiting for it to happen. So there is something like that for some of you, some kind of big thing that you're waiting for that big moment or that special moment. And the best thing is honestly just to let it happen and just relax and unclench and just breathe. Let it come to you. Don't try and force it, because then you're sort of energetically pushing it away. Okay, group 2, let's get your charms and then we'll get your dice as well. Family and traditions also seem important for you in this month. So there's, you got the message here about someone being, or sure I saw someone was traditional. Oh, family traditions. Okay, it was a possible interest. And then you've got this like soul kin, recognition, family, kinship cards. So something to do with like family, traditional ways of doing things. Yeah, that will resonate with some of you. Okay, your charms, you've got the letter L. That could be someone's name, initial. It could be a place. You might get a word coming to you. Always with the letters, just take what comes your way. I just heard lazy, actually. So maybe you're feeling lazy. Maybe you think your partner is being lazy in December and should just get on with whatever it is that you want them to do. Lazy. Is anything else coming to me? London, Los Angeles, Lisbon, Leicester, Lucas. I just heard Lucas, Liam, Lonnie, Louise, Lawson as well, like a surname, Lawson. Yeah, lots of things coming through there. Some of that might resonate with you, some not, but just take what comes to you. You've got the shield, so protecting yourself or defending yourself. Now, this could be with the stress. Like, I keep looking at this woman who just looks really stressed. Try and do what you can, because you've also got honor your feelings here. So I think just try and do what you can to, I guess, preempt any stress. If you know that a big deadline is coming up at work, just try and lay the groundwork there and be like, look, what can I do to take some other pressure off myself? If you can get ahead of household chores, or if you can give yourself permission to let that slide a little bit, or if you can do something like, I don't know, pack your work lunch the night before so that you can, get to the office earlier, or something like that. Just anything that would take the pressure off slightly. Yeah. Or maybe even letting your partner know in advance, or whoever you're seeing, like, hey, things are really busy for me at work right now. I'm perhaps not going to be that emotionally available, or I'm going to be really tired because I'm coming home from work late, or whatever. They might even surprise you with doing something nice for you, like cooking dinner or something, taking over your share of the housework, etc. But yeah, just kind of preempt your feelings. So snowflake, this is a symbol of wintertime. It's also I think of the modern use of the word snowflake in a derogatory sense. Like, you could be feeling vulnerable, quite fragile, even weak perhaps. And I like that it's landing on this be your own knight card, because it's saying take back your power. You might feel fragile and vulnerable, but in reality you're not. Then you have a word here. You have protected. That's nice. It's nice also landing next to the shield charm as well. You are protected. You are defended. You have the flamingo. This is a lovely one to get in a love reading, because the flamingo, it makes me think of like your other half. You know how the flamingos, like their necks form a love heart? So this is like your other half. This is that special person. You have the hare, fertility, abundance. It also makes me think of springtime. March hares, like the month of March especially, makes me think of I think it's just a British phrase. It might be used in other English-speaking countries, but the phrase mad as a March hare, which is why there's a March hare in Alice in Wonderland. It just means, someone who's eccentric. So when I see this charm, I also think about just being yourself, just being you, being individual, not sort of bowing to society's expectations of what you should be or who you should be or how you should dress or express yourself. You have the anchor here, which is a symbol of stability and grounding, and also just kind of stopping, taking a rest, taking a break. This is a broken charm that I don't read. You have growth. I also get quite a healthy vibe from that charm, growth and health. The lion, so Leo, maybe that's the L. Maybe someone's name is Leo or they are a Leo. You also got the water signs as there as well. Maybe, for example, they might have like a Leo sun sign and then like Cancer rising and, I don't know, Pisces moon or something. Take what resonates. Then you have the cross. This makes me think of faith, trust, hope, the musical symbols, creativity, inspiration, singing, dancing, playing an instrument, sound healing. Oh wait, didn't this this card actually say is musical instruments? Okay, so maybe you meet someone who's artistic, can play an instrument. Maybe you meet them at some kind of music related event or a party where there's dancing. You've got the infinity symbol. Some of you might be meeting someone who you've known in a past life. This also to me indicates fidelity and loyalty, like someone who is faithful. You've got the baby boy, again with the fertility symbol there of the hair. Maybe some of you are looking to conceive. Maybe that's what you've been waiting for, or maybe you want to have that discussion with your partner and you're worried about bringing it up. You want them to bring it up and they just don't seem to be, and you want to really, nudge them or let them know that topic is open for discussion. That is something that you're willing to discuss now. That charm can also indicate someone who's acting a bit childishly or a bit immature. And then you have the Made in Germany charm. I very rarely see. I honestly think this charm has only come out like a handful of times in like the last 4 or 5 years. Made in Germany. So there is some connection for some of you to Germany. Maybe you are traveling to Germany. Maybe you're going to German Christmas markets or something. Maybe you are meeting someone who is German or has like a German name or surname. So while they're not necessarily from there, it just makes you think of that when you meet them. Maybe they speak German or they work for a German company or a company called, I don't know, Brunswick Systems or something. And it therefore just makes you think of Germany, or some other connection like that, It's kind of similar to the letter charms, my geography charms. It's always going to be individual to the person, but there is some German connection here for many of you. I think of Christmas and Yule as being very German because a lot of the traditions around this time have originated with Germanic peoples. Maybe you also feel the same. A lot of my Christmas decorations as well and Yule decorations were also bought when I lived in Germany. So again, like when I put them up, I get those memories coming back to me. So yeah, there might be a similar connection there as well. And maybe that's also ties into just how you feel around this season. Okay, group 2, let's get your dice to finish up your reading. Okay, so the 4th set of dice are the ones that we're going to roll for you. And those ones are the Looney Tunes dice, actually. So the Looney Tunes dice. Let's see how many we're going to roll for you. All 9. Okay, lovely. Lovely, lovely. Okay. What have we got? Lots of characters, actually. So you've got the paint. This makes me think of creativity. Again, like with the musical symbol, doing something creative. Maybe, like, again, you might meet your person in December at some kind of creative activity. Like, again, I'm thinking like musical event, dancing event, holiday crafts, maybe. Something like that. Yeah, that's what I'm picking up on. It's funny actually, because I watched my first ever Hallmark film yesterday, and that was about Christmas cooking. So yeah, maybe something like that. You're going to like a festive cookery event or something, and you're going to meet someone there. You've got the starry sort of vortex thing that always comes up when they're fighting in Looney Tunes and in any sort of old cartoons like that. This makes me think of fighting, disagreements, but it also makes me think of like a whirlwind, you know, like where you can't see properly, you're kind of dazzled, you're like rabbits in headlights, or you just can't like work things out because everything's just in a tizzy. Which also might be a British term. It basically means like, if you're in a tizzy, you're a bit like Taz, actually. You've got the Tasmanian Devil character, and, you know, he's always spinning around in like a whirlwind. So being in a tizzy is kind of where you are, yeah, you're just so wound up and stressed or confused or flustered that you can't objectively see the situation properly. You can't, you know, fully appreciate what's going on because you're so like, oh, you know, stressed or confused. Okay, so you've got Taz, you've also got Wile E. Coyote, you've got Roadrunner, and you've got Daffy Duck. So that's 4 characters. So that makes me think that you might even be meeting a few people in this month. Or socializing a lot. You know, you got the networker card. Socializing a lot in this month. This can also be, you know, family members that you're spending time with that are maybe influencing your relationship. Maybe it's stressing you out because you're staying with family or you have family staying over. Maybe that makes it a bit hard for you to have private time with your partner or to be romantic. Just the presence of lots of characters is noticeable to me. But also when I think about them individually, I think of Taz as being in that sort of tizzy, in that whirlwind. I also think of him as maybe being quite an angry character, maybe quite reactive. You know, he's my favorite Looney Tunes character actually, but he's not the best like thinking character. He just responds to things, you know, he's quite animalistic. He doesn't think things through. He just does things in reaction to what happens to him. Then you've got Wile E. Coyote, who always feels like a loser because he can never catch Roadrunner. So he always feels like a failure. So you might, again, be feeling like, I think this maybe ties into feeling like certain opportunities weren't taken advantage of. You know, this is going back to, I really got this feeling that some of you in December, you're feeling this would be the perfect moment to do this or to say this or to bring this up. And when it doesn't happen, you're thinking like, well, now, you know, my night is ruined. I'm not going to be thinking about the lovely meal I just had in this amazing restaurant. I'm going to be thinking about the fact that you didn't ask me to move in with you tonight. Or I'm going to be thinking about, you know, you didn't propose or whatever it might be. So that could also be coming up. Roadrunner, by contrast, always wins. But when I think of Roadrunner, I think of like perhaps running away from something. Running away, not wanting to face something, not wanting to be tied down, be caught. Commitment issues, perhaps. Being so busy, like so fast. Like with Taz and Roadrunner, there's this really fast, busy, and this as well, feeling of just like, oh, I don't have time. So that also, I think December is just going to feel really busy. And I think honestly, there's going to be a few weeks of December will have gone by and you're like, wow, you know, if you've got a partner, you'll be thinking, we haven't actually done anything properly together because we've just been visiting people, or we've just been preparing for people to come round, or preparing for the holidays, busy at work. We haven't actually sat and had a good conversation properly. So that's going to be a bit of a thing. Yeah, and then Daffy Duck, I just think, again, I love Daffy Duck. This is not disparaging, but I think of Daffy Duck as being, he's like a fly in the ointment, isn't he? He's irritating. He irritates people. He gets in the way. He's the foil to Bugs Bunny, the main character. I would guess he's sort of the main character in Looney Tunes. So Daffy is always the one to like bring him down to earth, Daffy annoys him, ruins his plans, gets in his way. So yeah, someone is irritating you in December, or perhaps not making things easier. Then you've got the spring. Again, it's like the coiled spring, like so much just ready to burst. Also makes me think of going up a level, progress in some way, or like sudden forward movement, sudden change. Disguise, yeah, again, it's like second chance, like first impressions weren't correct, or you don't notice it's this person because you haven't seen them for 10 years, and then you realize, oh my god, it's you, and you get talking again. Like, I really see this as two people talking at a party and reconnecting after not having seen each other for ages, and really hitting it off. Yeah, disguise. Also, again, not seeing the situation for what it is. Not seeing something objectively. And then you've got the bombshell, realizations, truth, sudden changes. Shaking things up, shaking up the status quo, shaking up traditions, maybe even making new traditions. I just get a sense of like a bombshell, like, oh, this new piece of information, or this new realization I've had, that it's actually the 23rd of December and I haven't had any quality time with my partner, or I haven't actually bought anyone anything. That's kind of the feeling I'm getting. So I think there's just a lot of things perhaps getting in the way of love in December for you, or perhaps just making you like feel as though things aren't being taken advantage of, things aren't being optimized. But I think if you just actually relax a little bit, let yourself just live in the moment in December, make it your motto that you're not going to try and control things. You're just going to live in the moment in December as far as love is concerned. I think that's how you'll have your best experiences, group 2, because then you'll notice people that you were otherwise like skipping over in the crowd because you didn't realize it was them, or you will get to enjoy an experience without thinking this would have been so much nicer if they'd done this, or if they'd taken this opportunity to ask me this. And just, acknowledge your feelings, but don't let them rule you, ultimately. Don't be this reactive person that's just, responding to things. Like, just actually acknowledge your feelings. I was disappointed because of this, or I'm stressed, I'm tired because of this. But yeah, don't let that dictate what you end up doing. But yeah, definitely, like, this could be a great month for love if you're willing to be assertive and take things just as they come. Just breathe into the moment. If your interests are compatible, a relationship will bloom. Face your fears. Good things come to those who patiently wait. I mean, that's almost like a checklist of messages for you there. So yeah, group 2, I hope this is going to be a great month for you. I hope you've enjoyed this reading. Please let me know in the comments below if you did. I would love to hear what resonated with you about this reading. Please like, share and subscribe if you enjoyed this. It massively helps out my channel. And if you're subscribed and you have your notifications switched on, then you will get notified whenever I release a new video, so you never miss out on all of the lovely tarot goodness. If you want to support me further, head over to my Patreon page. The link is in the description box. I will be doing some kind of live event for patrons only in December. I haven't worked out exactly the time. I think I'm going to ask patrons what is going to be the best time overall for people to attend. But I'll basically be doing like a live event where I'll be pulling cards live for individual patrons. I'll be chatting. We'll just have a cozy chat about our lives, our practice at the moment, what's going on, etc. And that will be around Yule time, so kind of middle of the month maybe. And yeah, if you want to book a private reading, head over to Etsy. Again, the link is in the description box. If you're watching this in late December, I might have already closed the shop for the holidays because I'll be visiting people. I won't have my filming equipment with me, but we'll reopen probably ahead of the new year, maybe shortly after the new year. It depends what ends up happening or if I get sick. But yeah, have a great day, group 2. Take care. Thank you for being here, and I'll see you again soon. Bye bye. Hi there, group 3. Welcome to your reading for those of you who chose the cute little cupcake, Christmas cupcake with the candy cane and the green like gummy sweetie on top of it, and the number 40 as well. This one is for you. So we'll just put your card there so we can see it while we do your reading. And I also want to say a big thank you to all of my patrons, including the lovely Kelly and Angelica. Thank you so much for supporting the work that I do. And thank you to all of my lovely subscribers as well. If you find that you enjoy this video, please do consider going down below and clicking the subscribe button, and also turning on notifications as well so that you get notified whenever I upload a new video. It is completely free and is a great way to support my channel. So as I mentioned, group 3, I am using Yuletide Tarot for your reading, and I've pre-shuffled the cards, but I haven't looked at them. So I am going to be discovering your reading at the same time as you. So let's see what we have. We've also got charms and dice that we'll be putting on live as well once we've done your cards. So you have Sinterklaas from the Yuletide Tarot. This is the Hierophant. Sinterklaas. It's Taurus energy there. Then you have the Holly King, which is the Emperor. Aries. It's Taurus and Aries. Then you have the Three of Canes, which is the Three of Swords. There's the candy canes again. Just like there are candy canes in my little Yule train. Okay, and he's got a cane as well. Okay, so the Hierophant, the Emperor, and the Three of Swords. So what I'm kind of getting, group 3, is that in December, you are taking charge of something that has hurt you or upset you, or it's like you're keeping on going despite the challenges that you face, or despite your pain, despite your suffering. So this is going to be different for everyone. You know, obviously your Three of Swords is going to be different. Some of you might have gone through a painful breakup recently and you are determined to find love again, determined that this is not going to be the end. Some of you might be struggling with mental health issues, with physical health problems that make dating quite challenging, especially if it's like a chronic or long-term condition. You know, you might be struggling with something like that. Yeah, I feel like some of you are just pushing through despite the difficulties. The Holly King is definitely about seizing control, the Emperor, you know, taking charge, doing what you can with the energy and the time and the circumstances that you have. You know, it's not about reinventing the wheel, group 3, but I think it's about making the most of what is available to you. And I see you sort of pushing through despite these challenges. So you have forgiving and learning. As you release and heal the past, you experience more love in your present moments. So there is some healing or some forgiveness, maybe of yourself, maybe of another person. Learning from past experiences. You have sun. Paint the sun back into your sky, number 11. There's a definite feel of like healing, or, you know, having been through something challenging, you're determined to change it or improve it. You then have empfangen, receiving or receptivity. That's number 4. Then you also have festhalten, holding on tightly, refusal to let go, number 82. The Emperor was the 4 as well, so you've got 2 4s there. And number 40. Zweifel, doubts, number 73. Zweifel, and then you have Selbstliebe, self-love, number 1. Okay, so I think the self-love is kind of connected to the forgiving and learning, and this message of paint the sun back into your sky, which I love. I love that message, paint the sun back into your sky, because it does put you back in the position of the Emperor, doesn't it? Of taking control. You know, if I've been waiting for the sun to show up, do you know what? I'm going to paint it in myself. You know, I'm sick of waiting. I want to be happy again. I want to notice the things that bring me joy and get that joy from them. Receiving. Allowing yourself to receive. So self-love, self-healing, overcoming, you know, whatever it is that you've been struggling with. It seems like you've been dealt a challenging hand recently, group 3. I think for some of you, this is a recent breakup, or this is a recent health issue, or other challenges that have gotten in the way of love. This holding on tightly, you know, some of you might still be dealing with, you know, the aftermath of a breakup, or perhaps you're still hoping to get back with an ex. This could also be about holding on to like things that fundamentally aren't helping you. Certain memories, certain physical mementos lying around your house that, you know, make you sad whenever you see them. Bad habits, things that, just facilitate a negative mindset. The doubt is interesting. I don't see what that is showing up as in your reading. Maybe just a doubt as to whether you can give it another go, or doubt as to whether you can find love in your circumstances. Then you have a few cards for the people coming your way, or the people or the person coming your way in love. So this, you might recognize some of yourself in some of these cards. Sometimes they also show us how we are showing up in the month for love. But in general, they will show you a person or people coming your way. Sometimes all the cards will relate to one person. Sometimes they can point to multiple people. If you have a partner, they might show you how your current partner is showing up for you in December. So you have Die Priesterin, the priestess, quite a spiritual, sacred, reflective, maybe introverted card. Die Priesterin. Okay, you have Child Wounded. Light attributes, awakens compassion and desire to serve others. Other wounded children. Opens the learning path of forgiveness. So there's that message of healing and forgiveness again. Shadow attributes, blames all dysfunctional relationships on childhood wounds. Resists moving on through forgiveness. Okay. Then you have needy, controlling, rigid, intolerant, which is a shadow card. And you have traditional, realistic, committed, hardworking. Oh, jumped out my hand. With the possible interests being building and repairing, credit analysis, gardening, volunteering, dentistry, community service, general contractor. Now, with these 2 cards especially, but also with the archetype card here, I would say not all of these words and interests and phrases will fit your person. Okay, it's probably just 1 or 2 words per card and 1 or 2 of the interests that will fit. Maybe take notice if any of them really seem to jump out at you. And of course, some of these might be messages for you as well. Okay, then you have Otherworld, Veil, Illness, Transition, and it's number 44. So you've got a lot of 4s in your reading, group 3. 4 is a symbol of stability, but it's also a symbol of like, it's stable, but it's perhaps a little bit boring. You know, it's not moving forward. It's this nice sort of square or rectangular thing. So yeah, 44, illness. Yeah, some of you struggling mentally or having physical health problems that prevent you from dating much, or perhaps that make it hard in your relationship. You know, you might not always be, you know, at all interested in intimacy because of your physical or mental health concerns. Maybe it's a sort of situation where sometimes you also just need to be selfish. And so you can't think about your partner's needs because you need to be so focused on your own. And that could be challenging. Transition also indicates this sense of change is coming. This is perhaps a transitional period where you're kind of in between phases, and that can be challenging because, you might have left one relationship, but you aren't quite in the next one yet. So there's just this period of adjustment and change. You have Arwen, 41, is another 4. Gift, divine inspiration, awakening. That kind of fits with the priestess card. Maybe you're getting some kind of channeled messages or important dreams in December that point you in a certain way, love-wise. Honey, ambrosia. That's lovely. Sweetness, taking care of yourself, looking after yourself. First quarter moon in Aquarius, trust the universe. And then interestingly, your final card is don't trust. So I think this is like this oscillation between not knowing what to do. It feels like one day in December, you trust that the universe will provide everything you need, or you trust that you can manifest something. And then the next day, for whatever reason, whether it's that you're still going through struggles, whether it's that you are in pain, or you struggle with your mental health, like suddenly you don't trust anymore. And then the next day, maybe you do. And so it's just like quite exhausting oscillation between kind of not knowing whether to have hope or not. It's like some days I really see you being able to say, of course I'm going to find someone, or of course, our relationship is going to improve, whatever it might be. And then the next day it's like, how could I have ever thought that? So I think, December, there's a little bit of a challenge with like your inner voice and working out kind of what is intuition and what is paranoia, or your fears talking, the ego talking. There's definitely a strong focus on healing, forgiveness, moving on, trying not to like hold on tightly to something. It's like encouraging you to let go of something, whether that's a person, a habit, a belief system. Yeah. December, I think a little bit challenging as far as love is concerned, but that doesn't mean that you're not going to find or experience love in December. It just seems to me that there are other things that are getting in your way or clouding your view, making it harder to focus on love or to engage with love or with your partner or with meeting new people, because there are these other things that are draining your energy or making it hard for you to just show up in the way that you want to. So let's look at your charms now, see what extra information they can give us. Then we'll do your dice too. Wow, group 3, while I was shuffling your charms, I just got like a wave of tiredness hit me, and my ears feel a little bit like, I feel like I have a little bit of pressure in my forehead, like kind of where your sinuses might be. And I suddenly feel like I'm not, like I'm hearing in quite a muffled way. This does happen sometimes. It's like a channeled message. Sometimes it's not just something that I hear in my head or sense. It's something that I actually feel physically. So I think perhaps some of you are coming down with like a really stonking cold in December, and you just feel grim, and you don't want anyone near you. You cannot contemplate, intimacy, romance, meeting someone, going for a date, etc., because you just feel so like disgusting. So that is a message for some of you in December, is that health is getting in the way of your love life. Okay, what can I see in terms of charms? So you have the octopus. This indicates busyness, lots of things going on at once, lots of things that need your attention. Yeah, December's a busy month for a lot of people, so that makes sense. You have loyalty in the form of the dog, so a loyal partner. Maybe you're choosing to be loyal to someone else. Maybe that person doesn't deserve your loyalty. You know, if they've got one foot out the door or if they've already walked away, maybe they don't deserve that loyalty. This can also be a zodiac symbol for anyone born in the lunar year of the dog. Could be someone you're meeting. Then we have the growth charm. So there is an opportunity for growth for you in December. The rabbit, this is another zodiac marker, so people born in the year of the rabbit. Rabbit also indicates playfulness and fertility as well. Then you have Saturn, so karmic issues can be coming your way in December. Some of this is like working through old karma. That's partly why perhaps some of these issues are happening for you, is it's working through old karma, karmic relationships. I would recommend checking out your birth chart and transits, if you don't already know, and seeing how Saturn might be affecting you both in life and in December. Are there any Saturn transits, Saturn aspects that are happening for you? How might that affect you? Where is Saturn in your birth chart just in general? How does that affect you as a person? All of those things worth looking into. You've got the owl here, so wisdom. Seeing the truth, seeing something clearly for what it is, gaining wisdom. The flower, blossoming, blooming, beauty, abundance. Love to see the flower. And then you've got the Viking as well. Possible connections to Scandinavia, Norway, Iceland, Denmark, Sweden, possibly Finland. Maybe someone that you're meeting or seeing has a connection to one of those places through genealogy, through their name or surname, through their work perhaps, family history, etc. Maybe also Norse gods are calling out to you. Norse or Germanic deities could be calling out to you in December to work with them. That could be something to look into actually, because you have a few cards that are like quite spiritual with your Hierophant, your Priestess, Otherworld and Arwen. They're all very spiritual. So yeah, would maybe recommend looking into some Norse deities or perhaps doing a meditation to see if any of them show up for you in meditation. If you do like a meditation and say that you're open to meeting, you know, whoever has a message or whoever wants to help you or wants to make themselves known to you, and see if any of them show up. You might not know straight away who they are if you don't know much about the sort of Germanic traditions, so you might then need to go and do some research. That's definitely happened to me in the past. But yeah, maybe worth looking into, because maybe someone here can help you work through this challenging experience, one of the Norse deities, or can help you with healing or even with finding love. You never know. So if that sounds interesting or something like you'd be open to, I'd recommend giving that a go. Okay, let's finish up with your dice. Okay, we're rolling the 6th set of dice. Those ones are the Voyager's dice. Voyager's travel. And we're rolling 6 of them for you. Okay, 2 6s. Lovely. Okay, group 3. Wow. Okay, so you've got the glasses and you've got the telescope. Both of these say to me, seeing something clearly, seeing something for what it is, seeing it objectively, seeing something in greater detail, looking at something more closely, gaining insight into a situation. So that's clearly important. You have the cactus, which is about being in survival mode, not wanting people to come near you. You know, when you're in cactus mode, no one's going to want to cuddle a cactus, are they, right? So it's this period that we all go through where we just don't want people around us, or we don't want to be opening up to people. We're kind of shut down. We're in survival mode. We're just getting through the day. So that's definitely going to come up for you in December. You've got the toadstool or mushroom here. This makes me think of magic. Makes me think of fairy kingdoms. Fairies may also be around you. You have the egg, new life, potential, rebirth, rejuvenation, fertility. Again, you've got a couple of fertility messages. And then you have the like ray gun. It just sort of makes me think of like zapping something, like getting rid of something, deleting it. So again, there is a sense here of like lasering, zapping something that does not need to be in your life anymore. I think you're really going to get some insight in December into something that is just not helping you, something that is holding you back, something that is causing problems for you or is not healthy for you. And this is somehow connected to your love life. It's something that is holding you back in that sense. So it could be a job that's just awful, a job that is really just taking all of your personality and energy and time and love for life away from you. And so you can't possibly show up for your partner, or you can't possibly, find the time and energy to date when you're in this terrible job. So it could be something like that. It could be something unhealed, as we've mentioned, old wounds, things that you're very actively experiencing and trying to work through. You will obviously know what it is, group 3, but just to say that there is like a focus on removing something or laying something to rest or getting rid of something in December that doesn't work for you. So interesting reading, group 3. I hope you've enjoyed this one. This is quite a deep reading. Hopefully it's given you some insight into what you can do relationship wise in December, what you can focus on to help bring more love your way. If you enjoyed this reading, please let me know in the comments. I would love to hear what resonated with you. Please like, share, and subscribe as well if you did enjoy it, because that massively helps out my channel, helps other people to be shown my videos in the algorithm, and helps them to, potentially get some healing or some guidance or something that they needed to hear by clicking on one of my videos. And if you would like to support me further, head over to my Patreon. The link is in the description box. I will be doing some kind of live event in December where I will be like pulling cards live for patrons only and chatting about our lives, our practices, what's going on, etc. So if that sounds like something you'd like to be involved in, then head over to Patreon, because it's only going to be open for patrons. What else? If you go in my description box, there's lots of links there. I have a tarot wish list for new decks if you are kind enough to want to send me something. I've got my Etsy page if you're interested in booking a private reading or an energy healing session. You can head there. And if there have been any decks that have caught your eye today, check in the description box, because I always list them. So if you're wondering what the name of a certain deck is so that you can go and look it up or buy it yourself, check in the description box, because I always list them in there, the decks that I've used in that reading. And group 3, I hope you have a lovely rest of your day. Take care, and I will see you again soon. Bye bye.